Welcome dear students, a very good afternoon to all of you. If you are able to see the screen, please give a thumbs up if you are able to hear me. If any issues, you can just put it in the chat box and I will respond back to it. So today we will be discussing two aspects. The first one is the revision of company accounts, covering basically the issue of shares and all of that. We'll take up a question and we'll try to solve that as well. And then in the second part, we'll be talking about how should you approach the examination, especially when we are so close to the examination. What all things you should keep in mind. Two aspects is what we would be focusing on. Right now, when it comes to issue of shares, one thing you have to keep in mind, it's a very important chapter and 10 to 15 marks, easily 10 to 15 marks will be asked from this particular chapter in every attempt, okay. And mostly it is about issue of shares. Sometimes they have also tested about debentures, but largely it is about issue of shares, okay. Now, basics I hope you already know about it, but just to quickly recap, whenever there is an issue of shares, one is the face value and then there is the issue price. Face value generally 10, sometimes it can be 100, 1, 2 also, generally 10. Issue price can be equal to the face value or greater than the face value. In India, you cannot issue shares at less than the face value unless it is some specified cases which you will learn about in CA intermediate, okay. So let's say issue price is 12. Now this difference of 10 and 12, this 2 rupees is called securities premium, okay. So the difference of 2 rupees is called securities premium, and whenever a company collects this 12 rupees, the company can collect it in installments, we say application. So those of the prospective shareholders who are interested to apply, they will put up the application and they will pay some amount with application, say for example rupees 3. Then once the company receives the application money, the company does something called as allotment. When the company does the allotment, that is when the individuals become the owners of the shares. So the next process is allotment. At the time of allotment, they may collect some amount, let us say rupees 4. Now out of this rupees 4 or out of this rupees 3, securities premium can be collected. It can be collected subsequently also. Let us say out of this 4, 2 rupees is security premium, 2 rupees is towards shares. Then after allotment, you have the first call, second call, final call, okay. It can be any number of calls. So 3 is collected here, 4 is collected here, 7. We need to collect 5 more because total price is 12. So 7, another 3 here, let us say, and another 2 here, let us say, okay. So how they have collected? 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2. All put together is 12. Out of this 12, in this 4, 2 rupees is towards securities premium. This is how normally a question is structured in the examination. Now, coming to the accounting entries, 1. And please remember, even though the question is for 15 marks, each journal entry will carry marks, 1 mark to 2 marks depending on the adjustment involved. So, even if you can pass the basic journal entries, you should be passing those journal entries and you should secure your marks. Okay. So, when there is application, money comes in, so you will debit bank account. Now, the amount here will be number of applications multiplied by application money per share. Okay, so let us say if we get 1000 applications, we will do 1000 multiplied by 3000 to share application account, then at the time of allotment, this share application account is transferred to share capital account. So, share application debit to share capital. Okay, this will be for number of shares allotted multiplied by the application money. Now, along with the allotment, you will also need to call for allotment money, or you also need to make the allotment money due. So, when you have to make the allotment money due, you will say share allotment debit to share capital, number of shares multiplied by allotment. Now, in our case, the allotment money also includes share premium, so you will say securities premium account. So, here in our case will be 2 into 1000. Then, when you receive the share allotment money, bank to share allotment. Then similarly, instead of allotment, if you have to make the first call due, you will say share first call due to share capital, then again bank to share first call, right? This is the basic set of entries. Here, most of the students will not have any challenges. Now, sir, where is the challenge? The challenge is number 1, pro rata allotment. Now, this pro rata allotment, what it means is, say for example, we have issued 1000 shares. We got applications for, let us say, 1500 shares. Okay, so how much money will we receive? We will receive 1500 into 3, that is 4500. Now, we cannot issue 1500 shares. We need to issue 1000 shares only. We need to allot 1000 shares only. So, the first entry, bank to share application, will be 4500, but actually we can allot shares of only 3000. So, while allotting, you will say share application debit 3000 to share capital 3000. Now the question comes, sir, what about the excess money 1500? See, the excess money may be refunded. If it is refunded, you will say share application 1500 to share capital, to bank 1500 if it is refunded. Sir, can we combine both of these entries and pass as a single entry? Of course, we can pass as a single entry. Okay, so here where you have refunded because you have got extra money. When you have got extra money, you cannot keep the extra money with you. You need to refund the extra money. So that entry will be this. But sometimes what the company does is, we will not refund the money. We will adjust this amount towards share allotment. In that case, you will do share application debit 1500 to share allotment 1500. So in that case, what would happen is In share allotment, you have to receive 4 into 1000, 4000, but already 1500 we have received at the time of application. Now we will receive only 2500. Okay, so that is how you will account for adjustments. Whenever there is extra money received on application, if it is applied towards allotment, you will debit the share application account and you will credit the share allotment account. And this entry and this entry can be combined and passed together. That is, you can say share application 4500 to share capital 3000 to share allotment 1500. Okay, now sometimes what happens is the question gives you a lot of complications, saying that 1000 shares were there, 1500 applied. Now the question says out of this 1500, 200 are rejected. So if 200 are rejected, this entire amount has to be refunded. You cannot keep the amount with you. So 200 into 3, that entire amount you will refund. Then the question would say shareholders or people who have applied for 500 shares, they were allotted 400 shares. So this means 100 shares is extra. I have paid money for 500, I got only 400. Sir, what about this 100? This 100 may be applied towards allotment. Okay. Then 5 plus 2, 7. 7 story is done. We have more 800. People who have applied for 800 shares, they were allotted 600 shares. So 400 plus 600, 1000, 500 plus 800. Now in this kind of scenario, what happens is 200 into 3 refund fully. Then 500 shares given 400 shares. So 500 into 3, amount received is 1500, allotted 400 into 3, which is 1200. This balance 300 will be adjusted towards allotment. Adjusted towards allotment means from share capital account you will from share application account you will transfer it to share allotment account. Then 800 into 3, we have received 2400. To them we have allotted 600 into 3, that is 1800. The balance of 600 will also be adjusted towards allotment. Adjusted towards allotment means share application account debit. So let us do the entire one. Total amount received 1500 into 3, 4500. 2. Share capital 1800 plus 1200. Plus 1200, 3000. Then 2. Share allotment, the amount that is adjusted would be 600 and 300, 900. And to bank, which is refund, will be 600. 3000 plus 900 plus 600, 4500. Are we clear? Any questions here? Sorry. Any questions here? Calls in advance and calls in arrears. Okay. So sometimes what happens is you would have called, let us say, first call for 1000 shares to be made at 2. So what will you do? You will say share call, first call 2000 to share capital 2000. But what happened? Somebody, let us say 200 shareholders paid 5 each. We said pay 2, they paid 5 each. So in that case what we will do is bank debit by 2000 is what we have to receive, plus 200 paid 5 each means 200 paid 3 rupees extra, 600. So 600 plus 2000, 2600, you will debit that to share first call 2000 and to share 2 calls in advance 600. Sir, what do we do with this calls in advance? This calls in advance will be debited and it will be adjusted against share final call 600. Okay, if you have not received the money, you will park it as calls in arrears and you will reduce it from the share capital. I would have loved to explain the journal entries using the golden rules, but this is a revision session for the examination. So, it would be a constraint of time because the exams are starting on 24th. So, I would not have sufficient time to do that. We have a separate video lecture available on the channel where you can understand the golden rules once again. Right. Now, this is the basic set of entries. The next aspect is forfeiture. And the best way to understand forfeiture is to take up a problem. So what we will do now is we will take up a question and we will solve it for the forfeiture thing as to how the accounting is done. I am not sure if the current this RTP has it. Yeah, it has it. This is a question paper. So what we will do, it's a very detailed question. We will understand line by line how it is to be done, and please remember this is a 15 mark question. This is a 15 mark question, and if you are able to do even basic journal entries, you will be able to score good marks in this. Okay. This single question will revise the entire share capital related aspects for issue, subscription and forfeiture of shares. Please pay utmost attention. PQR Limited issued 2 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 payable at 3 per share on application and 5 per share including 2 as premium on allotment and 4 per share on call. So 5 plus 4 9 plus 3 12 and 10 each, and 10 plus 2 is 12. Okay, so shares of face value 10, application 3, 5 plus 2 premium, 5 including premium, so 3 plus 2 and 4 per share. All these shares were subscribed, money due on all shares was fully received except from Mr. J holding 5,000 shares who failed to pay the allotment and call money. So this one person did not pay allotment and call money, and Mr. K holding 10,000 shares who failed to pay the call money. So one person failed to pay allotment money and call money, second person failed to pay only the call money. All these 15,000 shares were forfeited. Out of the forfeited shares, 10,000 shares including whole of J's shares were subsequently reissued to Mr. L as fully paid up at a discount of 1 per share. Past necessary journal entries in the books of PQR Limited. Also prepare the balance sheet and notes to accounts of the company. Right. So 15 marks and can be easily secure. Right. So now let us understand this. First, 2 lakh shares were issued. They have issued 2 lakh shares. How much did they collect in application? 3 rupees. So the first journal entry is very simple. 2 lakhs into 3, 6 lakhs. Bank account debit to share application account, 6 lakhs. Bank account debit to share application account, 6 lakhs, 6 lakhs. So no complication there. Then allotment was done. When you do the allotment, first thing that you need to do is the 6 lakhs of share application needs to be transferred to share capital. So this 6 lakhs will be transferred to share capital. The narration is also important. Generally, each will carry 1 mark. Okay. So even if you are able to do these 2 entries, you will get 2 marks. Then third, 5 per share on allotment. Now if it is 5 per share on allotment, please remember 2 lakh shares into 3 is towards share capital, 6 lakhs into 2 lakhs into 2, 4 lakhs is towards securities premium. So you have to receive the money. You have to receive the money. You will create a receivable. That is equity share allotment account. This is the amount you have to receive. How much? 10 lakhs in total. How 10 lakhs? 200 into 5. 10 lakhs. 6 lakhs towards share capital and 4 lakhs towards securities premium. Okay. So this third entry is also simple. Here also you can score easily 1 mark. Even if you find the entire problem complicated with the level of preparation you have, you can easily score these easy marks. Yes, I am explaining about the forfeiture only with the examination question. Okay, now, then what happened? Very carefully you have to understand 2 aspects. One person did not pay allotment money, 5,000 shares. So, we said how much should we receive? We said we have to receive 2 lakhs into 5, 10 lakhs. 5,000 into 5 is not received. 5,000 into 5 is not received. That is 25,000 is not received. So how much will we receive? 9 lakhs 75,000. So the next entry is 9 lakhs 75,000. Bank account to equity share allotment, or this entry, bank account 9 lakhs 75,000, calls in arrears 25,000, equity share allotment 10 lakhs. This is what I would prefer. Here also you can score 1 mark. Okay, then we made the final call. Final call was for what amount? Final call was 4 per share. 2 lakhs into 4 lakhs, 8 lakhs. So, final call, equity share capital call account to share capital account, 8 lakhs, 8 lakhs. Now, 5,000 did not pay the call, plus 10,000, second person also did not pay the call. So, totally 15,000 did not pay the call, 15,000 into 4, 60,000 did not pay the call, calls in arrears 60,000, amount received 7 lakh 40, total to share call account 8 lakhs, 1 more mark here. Right? So far it is simple. We unnecessarily get sometimes scared. Now, the most scary part or the challenging part that has come up is what? Out of the forfeited shares, 10,000 shares. How much? We have to forfeit 15,000 shares. So we will forfeit 15,000 shares. Out of that, 10,000 shares, including whole of J. So J is the person who has not paid allotment and call money. So 5,000 allotment and call money was not received, that is forfeited, and that is reissued, and 5,000 who did not pay the call money, that is reissued. So see this first forfeiture. So when we forfeit, what we need to understand is share capital, whatever amount is credited, you will now debit. Now the first thing you have to ask yourself is, sir, how many shares have we forfeited? 15,000. 15,000 into face value 10. So 1,50,000 is what you will debit to share capital account. Okay. Then we have two forfeitures, 5,000 and 10,000. This 5,000 what we forfeited, he paid the application money, but he did not pay the allotment money, he did not pay the call money. Application money, how much was that? 3. He paid 3, he did not pay 5, and he did not pay 4. This person paid 3, paid 5, did not pay 4. Okay, so because we have not received the securities premium here, see, 5,000 plus 10,000, 15,000, entire share capital we will reverse because we are cancelling the shares, and securities premium was not received from this person. How much? 5,000 into 2. So if you have not received securities premium, you will debit the securities premium. So equity share capital account by face value 1,50,000, securities premium 10,000. Now if you have followed the arrears account, because we have already passed the arrears related entry, entire amount calls in arrears you will credit. Whatever you have passed in calls in arrears, 60,000 plus 25,000, 85,000 you will reverse. Then how much amount should we take to forfeited shares account? Now to forfeited shares account, you should take the amount what you have collected from the concerned person, which is pertaining to your capital. Meaning to say, 5,000 into 3, 15,000, or 5,000 into 3, 15,000, plus 10,000 into 3, 30,000, that is 45,000. Then in the allotment, he did not pay, but he paid how much? 5. Out of that, 3 is towards your share capital, right? So 10,000 into 3. Okay, so that amount of total of 75,000 you credit to share forfeited account. I am repeating once again because here is where students make mistake. This represents amount paid towards share capital. Okay, whatever amount has been paid towards share capital, only that amount, because we are reversing only share capital. This is amount not collected. Securities premium collected is not reversed. So out of the entire thing, 5,000 paid me 3, 10,000 paid me 6. So 60 plus 15, 75,000 to share forfeited account. Now when it is reissued, how many shares were reissued? 10,000 shares were reissued. 10,000 shares were reissued, right? So 10,000 shares were reissued at 9. So 90,000 to bank, entire face value to share capital, and balance amount will be debited to forfeited shares. Now please be mindful here, or please be careful here. I am again, I'll again repeat here. 5,000 into 3, 15,000, and 5,000 into 6, 10,000 into 6, 60,000. Okay. Now this entire 5,000 shares were reissued. Entire 5,000 shares were reissued. When this entire 5,000 shares were reissued, it was issued at a discount of how much? 1. So 5,000 into 1, we get 5,000. Out of 15,000, 5,000 is used towards discount, balance 10,000 you will transfer to capital reserve. Here, out of 10,000 shares, 5,000 shares are reissued. For this, 6 per share makes it 30,000. 6 per share makes it 30,000, and 5,000 into 1 is the discount, which is 5,000. Balance 25,000 you have to transfer to capital reserve. So 25,000 plus 10,000, 35,000 is transferred to capital reserve. There is another way to understand and recall this or remember this, that is, out of this 60,000, half we have to retain because we are reissuing only 5,000 shares. So 60,000 ka half is 30,000. Balance 30,000 and 15,000 we will utilize. So 30 plus 15 makes it 45,000. Out of that 45,000, 10,000 is used towards discount, and balance 35,000 is used towards transferring to capital reserve. So if you see, 2 marks for this, 1 each for this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 marks of journal entries, very easily securable. Okay. Any doubt here? Any question here? So this concept covers both your forfeiture and also the securities premium part, and of cancellation of shares and reissue of shares and transferring it to capital reserve. Any questions, please feel free to ask. Yes, balance sheet presentation we will see. Yeah. Now, the question also wants us to prepare balance sheet. So, you cannot, only based on these transactions. So, first thing, share capital. Share capital, please remember, here we will show only the face value. We will show only the face value. Now, whatever is the value or face value of shares issued, only that will be considered. Now, if you come back to the question, we had issued 2 lakh shares. Out of that, 15,000 were forfeited, again 10,000 were reissued. So 2 lakhs minus 5,000, you have 1,95,000. Sorry, next one. Yeah. $1,95,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, 19 lakh 50, plus forfeited shares balance 30,000 will make it 19 lakhs 80,000. Okay. Then under reserves and surplus, whatever securities premium we have collected, now here please remember we have debited 4 lakhs towards securities premium minus 10,000 we could not collect, so balance 3 lakh 90,000 comes here. Capital reserve comes from last entry 35,000. Cash and cash equivalents. So here you don't need to do this breakup, you can directly calculate total amount received, share application, share allotment, share call and reissue of shares all put together. This is my share capital, cash and cash equivalent, right? So that is how we can present it in the balance sheet. Very simple presentation, and this working notes as we did, we have already done that, right? Now this is one question, again highly scoring, 7 to 8 marks easily. Even if you make some mistakes, 7 to 8 marks easily. Students get to unnecessarily get tensed. Forfeiture shares, I don't know, capital reserve, how to calculate. Even if you are not able to do all of that, even if you are able to attend half of the question, you will be able to score 5 to 6 to 7 marks in this thing easily, pretty easily actually, right? Now so now we have done with the discussion of how to approach these things, and we have covered broad aspects. The entire list, if at all you are at the last moment and you want to carry out, I want to revise at the last moment, and how do I revise and all of that. If you have the doubt, we have a playlist containing all the revisions, important chapters. You can have a look at them and brush up your concepts at the end, just before the examination. Now, few things for you, for a lot of you who are writing this examination for the first time, professional level examination for the first time, you will have lots of question in your mind. Okay. There is no negative mark for accountancy. If you have any question specific, how to attempt, how to answer and all that, please put it in the chat box and I'll be more than happy to address them. But before that, please understand, stress at this point of time is pretty normal. So don't fight yourself saying I'm getting stressed, how will I answer, how will I attempt the paper, what if I fail and all of that. All those things, your mind is playing a lot of game with you, and what I want you to do is just acknowledge, accept them and say that yes, it's a tough exam, it's a professional exam, things will be difficult, things will not be easy. I have given my best, I have prepared my best. If you have given 100% of whatever you have done, whatever time you had, please go to the examination with a positive mindset. Okay, I have students who could not write one paper because he met with an accident. Still he went ahead and he wrote the fourth paper. And that kind of attitude is what I would want from each one of you. Pass, fail should not be there in your mind. I will go to the examination hall, I will write the best paper I can write. That should be the attitude. The first thing you have to keep in mind. Second, it's of course you would be tensed. I was also tensed when I was a student like you. Things which can help is deep breathing. Whenever you feel stressed, just close your eyes and take deep breath in and breathe out. Just for a minute or so, let the thoughts dilute. Sleep well, drink good amount of water, take care of your health, figure out your examination center, write with black pen. Okay, drawing lines is not mandatory, but it is good to have. Then don't try, don't be scared to ask more papers. A lot of students I see, they write in the margins and they make it very clumsy. Please don't do that. Take as many paper sheets you want to take. Papers will be corrected. So you have paid the examination fee. Make maximum use of that. Then another thing what students do is jumble the questions, answer in a particular order. You can start from any question. If you can answer sixth question, start with sixth question. If you can answer fifth question, start with fifth question. Start with any question which you are comfortable with. But questions have to be completed in a sequence. Now, sir, what if I know question number 1A, but I don't know question number 1B? Do 1A, leave space for 1B, and then continue 1C. And subsequently, when you have time, you can come back and you can do the remaining question. So that is one thing. Working notes, very important for accounting. Very, very important. Students lose marks. I'm telling you from experience, students lose marks by not preparing working notes. It's a simple calculation, but still you have to prepare working notes. The final accounts, even if the balance sheet doesn't tally, I've been telling this multiple times, you have to attempt it because it's a high scoring thing. Important chapters, again we have seen, you have to quickly revise through. Consignment, then average due date and account current are high scoring topics. Partnership again is a high scoring, though it's scary, it's still high scoring topic because it's a simple thing. Revaluation is same, the goodwill is same, the sacrifice ratio is same. So, overall, if you look at a package, if you have done decent preparation, you will be able to attempt 80-90 marks properly, and that is more than enough. I am not asking you to attempt for 100 marks. Specific set of students who have that ability, they will do that. But even if you are able to do 90 marks properly, you can attempt it decently. It's a high scoring subject. First paper, keep your spirits high. Don't be demotivated. That is one more thing, what I would want to say. Now, sir, I have doubts. Some question paper will come from only ICAI book or they'll ask from their own. See, I was a paper setter in the past. Okay. And when I was a paper setter, I also used to create my own questions. Okay. So, similar questions, if your concepts are clear, you will be able to handle. I don't think there should be any challenge at all. And again, I am repeating for the sake of repetition multiple times. Out of 100 marks, 50 to 60 marks will be average questions. You will be able to attempt those 50 to 60 marks without fail, provided you have at least completed one full study material or the classes or the video lectures, whatever you have done. If you have done it, 50 to 60 marks will be there in your pocket. You can jumble the order, that's not a problem. You can use your own language, but don't make it clumsy. Don't write in an handwriting where the examiner will not be able to figure out what you have written. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, so that is very, very important. Then yeah, I think we received major questions. Any more questions you have? First paper, go with positive mindset. Try to score as much as you can, because that will help you in aggregate, especially for those of you who are scared of mathematics. Sir, maths very tension, too much of tension. Okay, so this is done. Then yeah, if you attempt 6 questions, now people, see Vamsi Kumar, right? You have students who say, sir, 100 marks I am not able to attempt, I don't have sufficient time. And we have saying, if I attempt all 6 questions, what happens? The first question, which is the compulsory question, will be valued, and out of the remaining 5 questions, the best 4 questions, means they will correct all the 6 questions, and in the optional 5 questions, the best 4 questions will be considered for your marks. Yeah, and so we are on 21st now. I think you would be already into accounting preparation zone. One very important thing after the examination, keep the paper aside, give it to your mom, give it to your dad, but don't start reviewing the paper. If your friends are discussing the question papers after the examination, run away. Simply run away. They are not your friends. Okay. Exam paper should not be discussed after the examination. If somebody is putting a YouTube video, for that matter, even if I put a YouTube video discussing the exam paper, you should not watch them. That is one thing you need to keep in mind, because it will have an impact on the remaining papers. You never know. Sometimes you may feel that, oh, out of 100 marks, I could attempt only 70 marks and I may not get 40 marks or 50 marks. You never know. Sometimes you may get grace marks. Okay, you never know. You would have done 70 marks. Out of that, you may get 60 marks also, because you have done the attempts properly. So don't discuss the question paper. Keep it aside. Run away from your friends who are discussing question papers. Give it to your mom, give it to your dad, and only after your 4 papers are completed, then you can have a look at the question papers, because you cannot change the past. Some of you have this thing that, sir, we wasted our time, we did not prepare, we should have prepared. All of that is gone. Whatever is possible in this time frame, if you are still stuck up with it, I'm telling you, there is a good YouTube playlist for the revisions, important chapters. At least go through them once, complete last 2-3 years exam papers. You'll have some kind of confidence to go and write the examination. And one more thing, sir, new syllabus will come, then what will happen, articleship, this and that, that we will discuss after your exams are completed. Don't be bothered right now, because official notification has not yet come. It does not impact the current exam. It does not impact the December exam. So for all of you who are writing these exams, new syllabus, keep it aside. Once the new syllabus comes, we will discuss, and we will see how do we take it further. Chalo, thanks a lot. I don't want to take more of your time before the examination, and all the best to each one of you who is writing the examination. If you found this video useful, the last part of it at least, and you want to share it with your friends who are kind of stuck, tense or something, please go ahead and do that. Do subscribe to the channel so that you get a notification whenever we are doing these live sessions and videos on that. Chalo, thanks a lot, and see you after your examinations.